What's up, everybody?
Hey everyone, not ideal situation, but
if you can see us, you may see a different setup today, but it's okay. We're trying our best.
we're quarantined. As you can see, I literally gave zero fucks. I'm wearing shorts, and
And we're having wine instead of coffee.
instead of coffee, we were giving zero fucks, so we decided to take the wine route.
So you know it's a rough day.
Yeah, instead of going out to stock up on coffee, which is my failure, it's we started just stocking up on a bunch of wine.
Absolutely.
So we've learned that we're drunks, almost.
Alcoholics.
But the show goes on.
Absolutely.
So here we are.
We'll keep it moving for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Before we begin, as always, please remember to like the video, like the audio, wherever it is that you're listening or watching us on. And keep in mind that the comments and the interactions is what spreads the knowledge and spreads the conversation.
Absolutely. Have a dialogue with us. Let's discuss. That's the whole thing that we're trying to do. We're
Exactly.
trying to open up a dialogue.
Yeah, we get a lot of DMs and people, I think, write to us directly about what they saw. But the most important thing is when you leave that down in the comment section or when you write that somewhere, that's where people can really see and then engage. And that's where people learn that there's other opinions other than their own. We can only say what we feel. We can only say what we think. And we try to interact with as many other outside comments coming our way.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand is they think that it's just us saying it, which is why we need you to interact with us so then people can see and learn about, okay, I'm not crazy or someone else thinks the same way that I do. So I think that's very important for people to really be engaging.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to interact with somebody else on the comment list. Like we've had.
That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Like it's an open forum. You don't just have to talk to us. Talk to somebody left a comment. Maybe you want to give some input. And then now you two have a discussion and maybe somebody else joins in. And that's all we're trying to really do. Open up the discussion, open up a forum, and it's a safe haven. There's nobody, no judgment, no,
And even if it is, just know that if you never say what you feel, no one's gonna learn. Everyone's gonna think that they're always right or there's only one way.
Absolutely.
So when people start talking about their own, like what it is that they do and what they're going through, it really does sort of share and open up. Like, okay, maybe my way of thinking isn't the only way. Maybe my friends are always telling me this, and look, these guys just said it, or someone else is telling me. That's the whole goal. So with that
being said, let me take away.
Go ahead, lead.
Today's topic of discussion is: should women shoot their shot?
Shooting your shot. I've said it every single time, and
Yes.
we're gonna go. I'm curious to see what position you're gonna take and how you're gonna address it.
Really, I'm actually curious. Well, actually, I have an idea of how, because you've talked about it in the past. So
I have.
I have
but
a
we're
good
gonna
idea.
have a full show today
Absolutely.
of this. So
Yes.
I will let you begin, and then
Thank
I'll
you.
say what I need to say.
Absolutely. I always say shooters shoot. And,
Or you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
well,
Wayne
shooters.
Gretzky.
Well, shooters shoot.
Michael Scott.
And whether that is man, woman, I love a woman who takes the initiative. I don't know if you agree, but I do appreciate it. It does get noticed, and I've been fortunate enough to be in that position where, funny enough, I've had 2 relationships come out of women approaching me.
Yeah.
Both relationships that I've been in, long-term relationships. Both times the woman has approached me, one messaged me, the other one kind of even like directly approached me. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate that candid. I appreciate that honesty and the courage that it takes. A lot of women are they're scared of rejection, and for them they get one rejection, it's like the end of the world. But guys have to deal with that all the time. To be honest, I'm not that forthcoming, to be honest. So, but I do.
Why?
You know what? I don't like rejection. And B, I don't know. I just never really been that person. I'm a little bit like, sometimes I can be a little shy.
Yeah, but
to be honest.
But how are you going? How can you say yes? Women should shoot their shot when you won't shoot your shot yourself.
I do shoot my shot at the right time, but I can also be very reserved. But I do appreciate it when a woman does it, because it takes even more. I feel like even more encouragement for a woman to do it, because stereotypically men approach women, and
I think that's what, for me, I find attractive. It's the fact that a woman says this, and I know what the stereotype is,
and I'm willing to
and
break
I don't
out
care
of it.
about it.
And I'm
That's
willing
what
to
I
break out
find
of it.
attractive about a woman approaching me. Doesn't happen all that often. Sure, it happens more often to you than it would.
Funny. I was gonna ask you. Can you give me an example of some event where a woman approached you that you vividly remember?
Oh, I wasn't well prepared for that question.
Sorry.
I mean, I have been approached.
Right. I would.
As we go
Imagine.
along, it'll probably come to me, and then I'll interrupt you like always.
Okay.
And I'll cut you off, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
But other than that, but I have been approached, not often, but my way of doing it is, and because it's also been mistaken by someone who, they don't really approach. They more like DM me.
Okay, well, it's a subtle way of doing it.
I think it's the easiest way for anybody to do it.
Yes.
And depending on who's on the receiving end is gonna say, hey, like you don't have the balls to say it in person, or they can say, oh, okay, that's now I can see who you are before I allow myself to start a conversation. Because when you approach in person, you have nothing but that first impression. When you approach via social media or a dating app, for example, you kind of have a story built around them based on what their pictures are, their engagement, their comments. Who is it that they're hanging out with? You can kind of build that picture.
Yeah, but exactly, I agree. But it also sometimes it depends because you can't always approach a person if you're at a club or at a place with very loud music and approaching somebody cold.
Yeah, but that's not an environment to approach someone.
That's what I agree.
Unless you have a table and then girls want to be like, oh, who's out at the table?
Right, but I understand. So if you'd say, you're going out there, even as a woman, especially as a woman, and you see somebody interested in, and then later on you stumble across them on social media, I don't think there's anything wrong with like messaging them or approaching them, because guess what, you can't really do it in person because you're out in that event, and so it makes that a little harder. I think it's easier just.
I think it depends because I've seen like memes and posts that people are like, guys will look at you at the club the whole night or at the party the whole night, make eye contact with you. And then when they get home, they'll DM you saying, was that you at the club?
Was that you? Have you done that before?
I've never done that. Have you?
No.
Because it was a long pause after you asked me.
No, because it wasn't that long. It was like a second. I had to, recollect my memory. But no. Has never been me. But I have been approached by a woman, and I appreciate it. And sometimes, you got to reject them because you're not interested. And I feel like it's harder to do if it's a guy to reject them because women don't usually get rejected.
Honestly, but then again, I don't reject anybody because since it's such like out of the norm for them to approach a guy, I've told you before and I'll say it again. I really like to start everything with a solid foundation as friends.
Right.
So when they write to me, I make sure I'll be open for it.
Okay.
And then I'll see where it could go. But I'm not like, okay, maybe this is going to be my next soulmate. But no, I do go into it thinking, oh, this is a cool person like who really had the courage to approach me or to write to me somehow. I'll entertain. And I'll keep them there as friends. But you'll never know what that foundation can eventually build.
Right. That I agree. But if you're like, there's like no attraction. And then, it's a fine line between. Like,
I'm still nice and I'll still respond.
Yeah, no, of course.
I don't leave them on red.
No,
you do. No. Be honest.
I have. I have. Okay.
Be a dick. All right, don't twist my arm.
Oh shit. No,
yeah,
no, but I do. But I am. If I'll be honest. Like, yeah, we can get to know each other. Right now, I'm not looking for anything serious. But who knows? So I think that kind of aligns with what you were saying.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like ladies, shoot your shot. Don't be scared to, because there's a lot of girls who like think like following somebody or like liking a picture is like shooting a shot. A lot of girls do
Don't
that.
you do that?
But I would actually at some point I'd message them. I'm not
what's
just gonna,
the point?
Like a picture.
What's the point where you write to them? Because I know we've talked about it.
Yeah.
That if you get a follow from Marvin and he immediately likes a picture.
No, I would like immediate like it.
All right, 60 seconds because that's what he thinks is it's not that long.
Okay.
So 60 seconds within the initial follow. If he likes your picture randomly, no other engagement, no other interaction, there's a good chance that he might be into you. Am I wrong?
It depends on what type of picture I like. If it might be just like a really really cool picture, and I'm like, okay, cool.
So it's
if it's like a person like with an elephant or like super like traveling whatever, I like it even if I'm not really like. It's a cool picture.
So okay, so let's teach everyone.
Okay.
If you follow them and you like their most recent picture,
that doesn't mean anything.
Okay,
now,
okay. If you dig and scroll and like an older picture, because then you invested time into looking for a good picture. For this person.
I will go look back like 3, 4, 5 pictures. I'm not gonna be like, let me scroll down like 12, 22 months.
But what if you like, what if you like them? Like you're attracted. Like you're following this person to talk to them.
Yeah. So okay, if I like 2, 3 pictures, cool. But and that's like the cue for if she likes the picture backward too, cool. That gives me like okay, that's like a green light.
So then you follow, you'll like a picture, and then if they like back, That's your green light too.
If they like bag, it's usually like a green light. Now, if they don't like bag, then I'm not even gonna like. I'm like, okay, I respect that. But I mean, I don't. It's not like a rule that I pursue every day, you know. So
Okay.
all right. Oh boy,
I know a lot of people, Marvin.
I know you do.
I know a lot of people that know you.
Like who? Name some names.
I'm not gonna expose.
You know some names.
No,
Okay.
but I'm learning your moves.
All right. I appreciate that.
So, should a woman shoot their shot? I strongly believe in you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and
Shoot.
yeah, no, but shoot or shoot just means that you're just gonna like.
No, like shooters take the chance to shoot.
Like if that's like
I'm not saying
like,
randomly shoot.
That's like our friend. Remember we went to Ireland? That is shooters shoot. That you don't give a fuck. You just shoot.
No,
but
if
if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, it's you may see a good opportunity, but you chose not to say anything or you chose not to act on that. You missed out on what could have been a good opportunity, and so that's what I mean when I say that. So then, yes.
No. Continue. I was gonna bring in an example, which I will.
So women, I've seen that. And what I've heard and people tell me all the time, it's like, why am I going to approach a guy? It's their job. They're the ones that should be doing it.
Right. But then I would say, and a lot of those films are like, oh, you know, I'm fighting for equality, I want, you know, equal rights, It goes both ways. You want all this equality, it comes with, you know, responsibility comes power. So it goes both ways. You know, you want that equality, you want that, take a risk, take a chance. There's nothing wrong with getting rejected. There's nothing wrong with taking the initiative as a woman and be like, hey, you know, you seem very interesting. I would love to get to know you. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to grab a coffee, and if the person,
so then why don't you do it?
Who, me?
Yeah, you just said, oh, I'm afraid of rejection, so I don't do it. So
I do it. I just don't do it like some other guys will do. Like if I go out, it's not to get at girls.
I know.
So when we go out, you know, if we go out often, we just go to have a great time.
My goal is to go out, have a good time.
Yes.
Because if I go out with the goal to get a girl and I don't get a girl, mission fail.
Right.
But
exactly.
If I go out to have a good time with my boys or my friends or whatever, and I come back without a girl, the goal was not to get a girl.
No, I understand
cool
that.
I'm if I do get a girl, cool.
Right.
But other than that, that's not.
Right. So that's why I go out just to have a good time with you and people I go out with in general. I don't go out just to get a girl. So, yeah. But if I'm really interested in a girl and I see like, okay, like this is an interesting person, I will shoot my shot. But I'm not like some of the other guys who just like, you know, go out just to try to get late.
That's shooters shoot.
That's shooters shoot. Well, they're definitely shooting. They're shooting too much. But he definitely got to shoot. No,
well, what is it? Every no gets you closer to a yes.
That's true.
That's another quote.
No, like I'm just thinking back of how I met my ex. You know, we had a great long relationship, and it was very serious and it was good for the most part. But I didn't even know who she was. She messaged me, so she kind of like she shot her shot, and I respected for it. I respect her for it. I wouldn't have come across her page because it was like some of my writing.
If you don't mind, what was her approach? Like, what was it? Because there was just a girl that DM'd you, or was it something about her or her approach?
Yeah, okay.
That made you
Let me elaborate.
Please,
so
yeah.
I write, and so back then I didn't have a book or anything, but I was still at Embrace the Day Over, and I would post blogs out and stuff like that. And she came across, somebody retweeted it, and she messaged me one night, and she was like, "Oh, is this your writing?" So she acknowledged my work, and that really meant a lot to me. You don't have to be a writer for that to be happening, but if for a woman to take that thought off and then say, "Hey, listen, this guy seems intriguing," and I'm doing my homework, and not just by looks, but also what he has in his mind, I think that meant a huge deal to me. Okay. And obviously, she was attractive, but the approach was she messaged me on Twitter. And she was like, "Oh, is this your writing?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, it is." And she's like, "Oh my god, like this is amazing. I'm really relating to this." And
that's cool.
That's all she wrote, and that was the beginning. But yeah, that wasn't the first time this happened to me. But I really, really appreciated it because she took the time to read, and she was saying, "Oh, I read all your blogs, and you're talking about a bunch of articles." And so she took the time to really dig into and see like who is this person, and so that meant a lot to me. And little things like that made it.
Yeah, it was more than just like
hey,
he's good looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
And exactly. And so that
there was substance behind it.
Right. And there was depth, and that made the difference. And so and nowadays with social media, it's easy. Like I'm not saying girls have to go approach somebody cold turkey. You feel like you will see like a lot of guys hard pressed to do that. because I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't really do that. Like approaching a girl randomly off the street, that's hard.
No,
It
but
takes
I would
courage
like to get in. I would like to.
to be at that point where it isn't as
Yeah,
much of
because
an
the thing is,
obstacle.
because we're preaching like, hey, who cares what people say? Do this. Stop caring about other people's opinions. Yet we don't act. So I think now is obviously not a good time because it's not like we can go out, but
Right.
there's opportunities that I know that I've missed, and it's been hinted.
Oh, absolutely. I recall.
You know what I'm.
Right. Well, we've been out. And,
Oh well, yeah, sure.
Right.
So yeah, and it happened to me a few months ago. I went out with one of my buddies. I went out with Runhell. It was.
Okay.
And there was this girl that was looking at me, and I was like, dude, she keeps on looking at me, and she was just alone with her friends.
But you sure she was looking at you? You know how
Multiple times.
like,
It wasn't just in the same area. I would move, and if we were in the same area, she would look at me again.
Okay.
And then when she was leaving, I was talking to one of my other boys who was like, "Oh, I saw you have a podcast, whatever." We started talking, like we had a long conversation about it. And she walked back, and I'm like, and I did, like in my head, this is what I do to like get full like verification. I'm like, I'm gonna stare at her, and if she doesn't look away, I know that she's into me. And I did. I looked at her, and we did not break eye contact for like a good 5 to 10 full seconds as she was walking by.
10 seconds. That's a long time.
Yeah, count it. You know what I mean? And so she kept on. And the same thing happened to me years ago. I went to New York for New Year's. It was a long story. I was supposed to go with my ex, but we ended up breaking up. So then I ended up just going with myself because I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to take this time for myself. And I went. And on the flight back, I'm sitting down, and a group walks by, right? And there's this girl that I look at, and I'm like, dude, she's so hot. Walks by. But apparently, I guess she was probably trying to get a seat in the back with a group of friends. But I guess someone had her seat, so she went to her original seat, which was across from mine. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And throughout the whole fucking flight, she kept turning back to me, looking at me.
Really?
Looking at me. Yes. And my dumbass had an open spot next to me. She kept on looking. The lights were off. She would turn around and look at me.
So were you thinking you should have asked her, like, hey, to sit next to you?
So then what happened?
Mm-hmm.
The flight lands. She turns, she looks at me again. And I'm staring at this girl, like I'm looking at her. And then I call my boy, and I'm like, yo, what do I do? Like, I need confirmation. Although I was so stupid. Like, I had her already. But I'm like, I need confirmation. So I'm like, I'm going to stand up, walk out, and I'm not going to break eye contact with her. Even if I look fucking crazy, I'm going to do it. I got up, walked by, and she did not break eye contact with me.
And
that is the in.
And then you just walked out of
I walked out, and then I'm like, I'm such a fucking idiot. Let me go chase this girl down, because another thing is, it's like when you have to go in somewhere to speak to someone and like to flirt or approach, if you do it in the beginning or like in the middle of your outing, you're kind of stuck having to continue feeding into that. On your way out, it's like, hey, you know what? I gotta go, but I saw you, and I really like your energy. I like, you're beautiful. I'd like to get to know you, but I have to leave. That would have been one of the conversations that I could have had with that girl on the plane, because it's like, I'm leaving. Like, we just got off the plane. I saw you. I like your energy. I like what I like your face. So I would like to get your number, and maybe somehow, some way we can reconnect.
Right.
That would have been a perfect way, because I don't need to linger on and try to build conversation and credibility.
And if you were to say no, like, you would never see this person again.
Exactly. So that's why the exit approach is almost the best approach. And it goes with both male and female, because it keeps you wanting to know more, which will then, you can then either lead it to like a social media type of engagement or a texting sort of thing, or then you can reunite on a more personal night where it's like you said, a cup of coffee by yourself instead of with a group of people. You know what I mean? That exit approach of saying like, hey, I'm leaving. I saw you on my way out, and I thought you were very beautiful. I liked your energy.
Yeah, but you saw it. What if you saw them on the way in? You gotta wait all night, and if you're interested,
well, it depends. Okay, so then this is where I wanted to shift the conversation to this, because some girls are like, I'm never gonna approach a guy. That's fair. You don't have to. You can make the guy approach you, but how? And then these are one of the things that I was watching a video, and I think I sent it to you. It was the guy Matthew Hussey. He always says it, and it's, how can you? Because back in the day, women are like, oh, I don't want to approach a guy. Like, the guy should approach me. Like, he should just know. Plus, back in the day, men would approach women all the time, and it's like, no. What he said was, it's all about what dropping the handkerchief is.
like a hint. Like a cue?
I think I've told you this. Like, yeah, the girl would walk by a man, drop her handkerchief.
You never told me that.
Never did?
No.
Beautiful. There's a learning experience for
Yes,
everybody.
exactly.
Woman will
Elaborate.
walk by, drop her handkerchief. Then the man, as chivalry as he would think, would run, grab the handkerchief, chase her, and say, "Ma'am, you dropped this."
Okay.
And then she would say, "Did I?" Because it was her plan to drop the handkerchief in
Right.
front of the gentleman that she wanted to approach her. See that? So then the guy thinks,
Like
I'm
that.
making the move. But little does he know that she set up the
She-
trap
like-
for that to happen.
Like a little seed.
So he approached,
Mm-hmm.
but based on her making the move. So the goal is not to say, hey, go up to the guy. Hey, what you could, if you want to and you want to live those norms of, you know what, we're equal, then okay, fine. Take all that comes with the equality. Approach the guy just like we would approach the girl. But if that's not the way that you want to do it, then you have to be certain that the man's going to know that you're flirting with him. How do you do that? How do you drop the handkerchief in 2020? What you could do is, let's say that you're out. Now, it's not ideal, but let's say you're out. You're at a bar.
All right.
Eye contact is very important because now, look once, you make eye contact. That's not enough for the guy to
No.
say, hey,
It's
I want you to
incredible.
wreck my guts. You know, it's going to take more. Come up to me. It's not going to work. So then you look again. The guy looks at you. Look again. Look again. Look 20,000 times so he gets the point. Even to the point, because it's not just about eye contact. It's about what are you saying with your eyes. You can go a step further because, yeah, the guy can look at you. And then he's not going to go crazy like you know, I know I'm not seeing things. Like, I know I'm making eye contact with this girl. So then what else could the woman do? The woman could close proximity, get closer to him, maybe with a group of friends, because it's now another challenge for the man to walk across the room or the bar or wherever, try to talk to you with the group of your friends, because then now you have to fight and find a way in. So it's like if you can close the proximity and get closer to him, it's now easier for him to interact with you. You still have not done anything but look at him. Now you're giving the guy hints to approach.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say another good way for, especially for women, if you're with a group of friends, sometimes a good idea is also for the woman to not even start a conversation with you, but maybe some of your friends. If you're with a group, especially if you're with a group of female friends, she could easily start a conversation up with somebody in your friend circle.
But
And
why?
That kind of,
But that's a game.
Yeah, but no, but that gives a guy the cue, like, especially if she was across the other room, now she's slowly approaching, and all of a sudden she's having a conversation with a friend of yours. It's just easy for you to dive into that and then open up the conversation.
Yes, but okay, if we were out, right, and a girl comes up to me, would you talk to her? You would probably think, oh, he's into Chris because she went up to him. Why would?
If we go out and we're in a group and we're out with Fanny and all these people, and this girl comes up and talks to Fanny, she doesn't have to talk to another guy, but she could talk to another girl, and that's an easy
Yeah, but you're
way.
getting into specifics now. But you see but you see how that can complicate things.
Not necessarily. I feel like if she's across the room and she's making her way across, and then all of a sudden she's within your vicinity and she's talking to a good friend of yours, that's an easy way to get into that. Especially if you're a guy who's interested in that person, I think that's a good way.
Sure. Okay, but it gets more complex
Right.
there. But sure, that is also a possibility. But if it's gonna be directly when it comes to like if the girl wants to get the man or the girl wants to approach the guy, you make the eye contact, give him confirmation, because the guys are stupid. We want to respect and we don't want to cross the line unless you're one of those shooters shoot that they don't care what they look like or what they're all about. They just want to shoot. That's another thing. But if you want to like actually engage with someone, okay, you close that proximity so then the guy knows, okay, she's been looking at me. She's giving me visual confirmation somehow, even if it's just while you're walking by, for the girl to look at you and be like, hi, or a quick little flirt or something like that is enough to nudge the guy to come up to you. And then that's probably the easiest way. Or you can ask for a favor, because let's say that you're out in a coffee shop or you have to go, you're somewhere running an errand or with a grocery store. They're like, oh, can you watch this really quick? I have to go pick up something because I forgot. Then when you come back, it's, oh, thank you so much. How's your day?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, you're not flirting, you're not approaching, you're literally just saying, like, ask, can you please do this favor for me? What guy's gonna say no? He'll do the favor for you. Oh, okay, thank you so much. And there's even a study that it's like, if I ask you to do a favor for me, it's supposed to mean that I am more interested in you. But the study showed that the person that did the favor showed more interest back,
Okay.
if that makes sense. I have to check my sources, but if I'm not mistaken, that's how it works.
It depends, because if somebody asks you and you just want to be polite and say yes, doesn't mean you're automatically interested in that person.
But it's an in. That's the first.
It
so
is
I'm
an
saying
in.
for
I
women,
agree.
if they were going to approach, this would be the direction to go into. That way, it's like, okay, I'm not saying, hey, I think that you're super hot. Hey, I like your beard. Hey, yeah, I like your style, which is another way that you could do it. But it's something as in, hey, can you, do something? Hold this for a second.
It could be something subtle like, hey, can you take a picture of me and my friends?
Yes.
That's
oh my
it.
God, thank you so much.
Right.
Like, you're really good at pictures.
Yes.
Do you do photography? Even if it's stupid.
Right.
But those
It's
are
an
little
like
cues for a guy to say, okay, this is my chance.
Almost like an icebreaker in a way, where you kind of like starting the conversation, even if it has nothing to do with the two of you. It's just an easy in saying, hey, I really like your shoes, or if you're a fashionable guy,
Yeah,
she appreciates that. Hey, I do it all the time with women.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, I don't even have to be necessarily attracted to the person, but I appreciate beauty. And if I really like your nails, I'll hey, I really love your nails, or hey, I really like your boots or your dress. And if I am interested in that person, obviously I'll be more engaging. But that's an easy way. That's an easy, you just say thank you. And if the other person isn't interested, they'll say, hey, thank you, and then it'll be the end of it. But that's an easy way to open up a discussion, I think.
I think the winning piece is going to be, don't consider the approach to say, hey, I wanna flirt with you. Hey, I wanna, get your number.
Like, start off even smaller than that.
I think be a nice person.
Yes.
Just be kind.
Yes.
Because if you're
like
a kind
that.
person, for example, if I was a female or even a guy, he's a very fashionable guy. You've seen his style. I would tell him directly because he's my friend.
Right.
But who's to say that a stranger can't do the same? What? Because they come off as creepy? No. If you're a kind person without any expectation of just trying to literally make anyone's day better, how can I make his day better? Oh my God, I love the color of your pants. I love how your pants look. They're super cool and they match your shirt. Something subtle.
Right.
Your hair, it's super curly. That's super cool. I wish I had curly hair. Something super simple just to make someone else's day, because maybe he doesn't like his curly. I mean, he's obviously growing it out now, but I have curly hair, wavy as fuck. That's that I had to I didn't do shit to it today. That's why it's all a fucking mess. But someone can look at it. I fucking hate my curly hair, and someone could be like, "Oh my God, I wish I had curls." And then that's enough to just be something like very nice to someone. If you could be kind to anyone, and then build a conversation, that's where you can create outlets to find the flirtation. Because if there's no interest, then whatever. You just had a conversation with a stranger.
Exactly. It's not really like a loss.
And you meet people.
Yeah, and no one's saying for a woman to just be like, hey, just go up to the guy and be
I want
like,
your dick.
Yeah, I want to fuck. It's not about that. It's,
Although, I mean,
if that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with that.
Just
you can
kidding.
call this gentleman.
Just kidding.
But anyways, ladies, don't be afraid to take chances, just like the rest of everybody else, just like guys do. It isn't the end of the world, and a rejection isn't a death sentence, I would say. So take the chance, especially if you're interested in that guy. And I've had 2 great relationships come from women taking the chance that I probably wouldn't have, because I wasn't aware of the situation. A lot of us guys, we may be oblivious to it. And
yeah,
so, exactly,
that's another thing. I choose not to even think about it, and so I'll miss out myself.
Exactly.
But I think what we should be practicing is just be kind to one another, and if you are interested in someone, a subtle comment or a subtle approach, not requesting a number, but just little hints to pretty much make some sort of icebreaker. That's the most important thing, and don't think anything of it, because then you tense up. Oh my God, what do I say next? You start to panic. Your voice changes. You get nervous. Just try to be as
natural as you can. Yeah.
Kind. Just be kind. Be kind and think, how can I make everyone in this room be happier today? How can I make everyone better
right now
today?
Absolutely.
And I think that'll be the best approach. And for women who don't want to approach men, plant the ultimate seed that is undeniable, that the guy's going to look your way and going to go up to you.
Yeah.
Keep looking at him, make eye contact, pass by him, ask for a favor. You're literally creating the conversation for us to then break the ice and create something deeper. So absolutely, that's my take.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is being safe. Happy Friday. And let us know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching today's content. We hope you guys enjoyed the show.
And if you did, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And follow us on every other social media platform. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go ahead and follow us, leave us a comment, and any feedback helps. Whatever you leave us, we'll be able to touch up on another show, or we'll be able to get back to you with any other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.